Welcome to part 3 of a series on the use of the abacus as an instructional tool for visually impaired people. Part 3 focuses on the indirect method of addition and subtraction. As the student understands how numbers work, they will start to move to the indirect method of adding and subtracting, which uses the addition facts of 10. When you carry 1 to the next rod, you take away the extra beads that you didn't want to add. So the student must be familiar with adding and subtracting, which they would have gotten from the counting method. The next step is that the student needs to know the tens facts, or partner numbers. So I start drilling them while still using the counting method. In some books, this might be called the secrets, or heaven beads and earth beads, but we're just going to call them the tens facts, or partner numbers. So you have your student memorize these number combinations that add to make 10. The numbers are 1 and 9, 2 with 8, 3 with 7, 4 and 6, 5 and 5, 6 and 4, 7 and 3, 8 and 2, and 9 and 1. I make a game of saying the numbers, and then they tell me the partner number that makes or adds up to 10. When the student can do these without hesitating, then you're ready to use them in the indirect adding and subtracting method. Now, when you add, be sure that you check to see if you can use direct counting or moving of beads first, if there are enough beads on a rod. If there are not enough, then we're going to use the indirect method and carrying. Okay, so let's look at an example where there are enough. We'll look at our first example. And I have Kate here to help with the examples. So let's start with 21 plus 53. So set 21. And now we're going to add 53. Now your student may figure out pretty soon that they can move 50 all at one time. So we'll just add 50 and then count 1, 2, 3. So I had enough beads. I did not have to use an indirect method. So that was just simple adding. Let's clear that again. Start with 21. This is what, and if we were using the counting method like we did earlier, we would count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then in the ones column add 1, 2, 3. So our answer is 74. Okay, now let's do a problem with the indirect method. Let's do, for example, 14 plus 8. So let's set the number 14. Now I want to add 8. Do I have 8 beads available in the ones column? No. So I'm going to carry 1 to the next rod. What goes with 8? 2. So take away 2. So let's carry 1, take away 2. And my answer is 22. Okay, let's clear that. Be sure to always check for regular or direct adding first. Be sure to check your rod to make sure there are not enough beads before you start carrying. Let's add a larger number. Let's start with 444. So set 444. And I want to add 798. Now that's got 3 parts, 700, 90, and 8. So let's start always adding, remember, in the largest number, start from left to right. So let's add 700. Do I have 7? No, so I carry 10, and what goes with 7? 3. So I added 3 too many when I did the 10, so we'll take away 3. 1, 2, 3. So now I want to add 90. Do I have 90? No, I don't have 9, so I'm going to add 1 in the next column. That's what goes with 9? 1. That's 1 too many, take away 1. So the next column I want to add 8. Do I have 8? No. So I'm going to carry 10, carry 1, and what goes with 8? 2. Take away 2. So my answer is 1,242. Okay, let's clear that. Now, let's do 417 plus 625. Set 417. And let's try this. Add 600. So I'm going to go to the hundreds column. I don't have 6. I carry 1. 6 goes with 4, so I take away 4 because I've done 4 too many, right? In the tens column, I want to add 20. I have 20, so I just add them. So be sure to make sure you always check to see if you can directly add. In the last column, in the ones column, I want to add 5. Do I have 5? No. So I'm going to carry 1. And what goes with 5? 5, so take away 5. And here's my answer, 1,042. So the zeros show up in your answer. Okay, so let's clear that one. Now, the hardest problems are when you get a 5-beat or a 9-beat involved and you have to do 2 steps or a combination at the same time. So I use a combination of the counting method and the indirect method together. If your student learns their 5's facts, you can teach them the 5's facts to do indirect adding with the 5 beats, but it can take more time than just counting. So I just do the counting. Your student will often figure it out on their own, and when they do, let them go ahead and use their own shortcuts. But they can always count it. And if you take the time to teach the 5 facts, you've taken time that you didn't really need to. So it's just much faster to learn on their own. So here's an example. Let's do 57 plus 76. So set 57. Okay, we're going to add 76. Okay, do I have 7? No, so I'm going to carry 1, but now I need to go, what goes with 7 is 3, so I need to take away 3. And see how I have the 5 beat here? So I can just count backwards, 1, 2, 3, to take away my 3. Okay, now I want to add 6 in this column. I don't have 6, so I carry 1, and I need to take away 4. Now I can either count back 1, 2, 3, 4, or if I'm going to put the 7 back here for a second. If I knew that 5 and 1 was 4, I could do it that way. They'll figure that out eventually on their own. But just counting backwards works too. So my answer is 133. Now, when there is a 9 on the rod that we want to carry on to, you have to go to the next rod to the left and clear the 9, just like in the counting method. And that makes sense because you're carrying 1, and what goes with 1? 9. So we clear the 9, and we still are using our 10's facts. So let's try an example of that. We're going to do the numbers 284 plus 317. So let's set 284. Now we're going to add 317, so we add the 300, well, 1, 2, 3 in the hundreds, so we can use the counting method or just add it. And then I want to add 1 in the 10's column. Oh, I have 1, I'll just add it. Now when I want to add the 7 in the 1's column, you see that I don't have 7, so I want to carry 1, but I don't have room to carry any onto, so I have to carry it across to the next rod and clear the 9, because 9 and 1 make 10. Now I'm going to go back to where I originally wanted to add 7, and 7 goes with 3, so I have to take away the 3 extras I didn't want. And so here's my answer, 601. Okay, let's clear that. Now subtraction is the opposite of addition, so we do the opposite steps. When we borrow, we're going to borrow 10, and that's too many. So we have to add back the beads that we didn't want to subtract in the first place. So I would tell the student, I would say, borrow 1 and add the partner number. You're taking away 1 when you borrow, so you're going to add back the amount that was too much. So direct subtracting takes away beads when you have enough, just like in the counting method. So let's start with an example of 8, take away 3. Set 8. Always want to make sure you check and see, do I have 3 to take away? Yes, so I just take them away, and my answer is 5. That's a nice simple example, but always check that you have some to take away first. If you don't have enough beads, then you have to borrow, and you borrow 1 from the next column. And you add the 10's facts partner number. So make sure you remember when you start subtracting 1 and 9, 2 and 8, 3 and 7, 4 and 6, and 5 and 5. So let's start with the example of 12, take away 8. Set 12. And now we're going to take away 8. Do I have 8 in the 1's column to take away? No, so I borrow 1 and add the opposite. What goes with 8? 2. That's its partner, so I add 2. My answer is 4. Okay, let's clear that one. And now go to something bigger. 54, so set 54, minus 27. Okay, I do have 20 I can take away, so there's 1, 2, using the counting method. And now I want to take away 7. I don't have 7. So borrow from the next column, borrow 1, and what goes with 7? 3, so I'm going to add 3. 1, 2, 3. And my answer is 27. Okay, let's clear that. When zeros are involved, I borrow from the next rod and write a 9 on the empty rod. Really, I'm just doing 2 steps at once because 1 and 9 are partner numbers. So in print, we would do the same thing. We would mark a 1 next to the 0, so making a little 10. Then we would cross that out and borrow from it and put a 9 there and move the 1 over to the next column on the right. So we're doing the same thing, but all in one step, and it's much faster. So let's start with the number 423, right? 423. And now if I want to take away 225. Okay, do I have 200? Yes, I can just take that away. 20, do I have 20? Yes, I can just take that away. Do I have 5 in the ones column? No. So I have to borrow from the next column. But you see there's a 0 there, so I have to borrow across the next column. But when I'm taking away that 1, I have to put back the 9 that goes with 1. Then I go back to my original question. I wanted to take away 5, so I add the partner number to 5, which is a 5. And so my answer is 198. Subtracting and adding using the indirect method takes some practice to get confidence. The exercises in the counting method book on pages 27 and 42 are good for both methods. Often the exercises and worksheets in the classroom in first and second grade are good for practice also. By third grade, there's borrowing and carrying in every problem. So you want to start with the first and second grade worksheets to get confidence and speed up. Then you're going to want to move to the third grade level worksheets, no matter what age or grade your student is in. Like learning any skill, it takes practice. You and your student will get faster and more confident with practice.